Okay, so here we are for the battle against Aaron, and they bring a very different team actually to what I was expecting. There is the 𝙎𝙬𝙗𝙃. I don't know if they're an enjoyer or what their position may be, but I respect the 𝙎𝙬𝙗 no matter what. It's also it is actually a problem for my team, so I've got to be a bit careful around it. I think I just want to lead off with. I could lead off with Bark and Barry here, but I think I want to lead off with 𝙎𝙗𝙉𝙀𝙃, just because if they lead off with Donphan or Gastrodon, trying to set up those hazards, I can outspeed, I can flip turn, and I can go out into my Hatterene, which realistically at this point isn't amazing. It's one role is going to be to try and switch into the Volcanion as much as possible, but outside of that, this is an interesting team. It's going to be pretty difficult, I think, to work my way around its low kicks, because for some reason low kicks can Terra down here. It's one of the best Pokemon on the board, and then it's also a Terra Captain and was like 9-10 points, which is just genuinely absurd. So we're going to go ahead and lock that in. First time playing Aaron. I know he's been around for a long time. And good luck, have fun. What we're going to see, Airplane. That is a bird. That is in fact a whole bird. Gonna see that we are Mold Breaker. I don't really want to take a hit from this thing. I really don't want to take a hit from this. We definitely struggle against low kicks. We will struggle against low kicks if we let this go down, but at the same time, like, you're never close combat, is what I'm thinking. So I'm just going to go out into Arcanine. Or at least you should never close combat. And we'll get the Intimidate, don't be defiant. Not defiant, love that. And it's going to take a little bit of Rocky Helmet. Going to take some nice recoil. And I think I just want to go out back into you, because if you're attacking, you're going for a Rock Slide, you're going for a close combat, and if you're switching, you're going out into like Gastro, or you're going out into Donphan. So Just Breathe is going to come in. That's actually the Volcanion. Certainly not what I was expecting, because the rock move I thought would be very much free there, but they got the play right. So I'm just going to go for a flip turn, and we'll do about 25-ish%. If they go out into Gastro, unless it's Ability Shield, which would be fire, then we should be alright. It's not going to be the Gastro, it's going to be you. Solid little chunk. And realistically, I don't actually have a lot for this mod, which is something I didn't think I would actually end up saying. So I guess I'll go into Magnezone. I'm actually going to just... Do I want a Terra? Do I die to an Earthquake is the real question here. Do I die to Earthquake? If it is an offensive one, then maybe. If I Terra Grass, do I die to a Gunk Shot? No. There's part of me that really wants to just go for a Flash Cannon. I am going to Terra, because I don't... I want the damage on this. And unless you make the read, or you can go for like a Fire Punch as a mid-round, or I guess T-Spikes as well. T-Spikes could go up here. But let's just still do a good amount. That does absolutely nothing, never mind. Knock off. Well, goodbye, Ocker. And I expect the poison move will come out, but honestly I don't take the poison move all that well. It might be better for me to just take it on this, because realistically you're actually not doing a whole lot for me. So I think making this trade might end up being the best play for me. They are going to gunk and they're going to land. Isn't going to knock us out, and we would actually live the poison if they got it. And I'm actually just going to Volt. Because unless they're like cussed up, then it shouldn't be too much of an issue. If they go out into like Donphan, go out into Chill. Is that a Donphan? No. Just the Gastro. I'm going to assume that you're Rindo Berry, but I still want to take this. Okay, they are just going to double. What's it going to be, Braviary? Yeah. This is still an analytic hit. At this point, do I need to keep you around for the Gastro? I don't think so. But keeping this lower would certainly be helpful, so if they go for a Roost here, they're just going to use it. As I say, if they go for a Roost, I want to keep this thing low. And now they've got to go out into their Mon first. And I can play around that. So, Just Breathe comes back in. Basculegion to a Volcanion. I'm still going to do a pretty good amount of damage. So I think it is the better play for me, because they shouldn't be able to hit me for much in return. And Wave Crash would do enough to 2-hit KO if it's somewhat defensive. Actually, if it's max HP, it's a roll. But I don't have a whole lot else that really wants to deal with this mon, so... But do they have a lot that deals with me? Kinda no. So is it better for me to just keep flipping? I'll go for one Liquidation. They're gonna Steam Eruption. No burn, love that. Liquidation does a very, very good amount of damage. And this time I am wanting to go into Hatterene. I don't believe that's Specs by any means. I also don't think it's very defensive. So, Hatterene from non-Specs. We take Steam Eruption. Yep. No burn. Is ideal. They do have a Dark type. Do I think they're going into a Dark type here? They could very well do. Psychic Noise is a mid-ground. It's like if I Draining Kiss and he stays in, it doesn't really do anything for me. So I'll Psychic Noise. They're just going to Steam Eruption again. And yeah, that now is in range of basically everything on my team, and he can't rest. So this is Hatterene doing its job. I will Giga Drain on the off chance that they switch out. But no, that's it. Just going to go down. That's absolutely fine. And you don't really switch in to Sliverwing. So I could just go for a close combat. And I think that's exactly what I want to do. This max HP on Braviary actually doesn't take close combat either. So I will just click the button. We'll be faster than this at all times. Could see Donphan come in. But it's not, it's just going to be Venom. I want to say this should 2 at KO from here. Yeah, it does. Okay, so Sliverwing's going to pick up that KO. Swalot was a bit of a problem actually for our team. I guess Gastro is also a bit of a problem now, because I don't have anything really to do with it too much, but I'm hoping to go with Braviary instead of the low kicks. They actually go back into this. I'm faster than you, I'm scarfed. Yeah. So I'll take another kill, that's fine. Now at -3. And Volcanion was something I really struggled to switch into, so I'm very appreciative of that Mongo. And Slash comes in, that's going to be the low kicks. So this is why we have our Arcanine. It is a cope switch into this mon. And I'm hoping, I'm coping that it's going to be able to at least take and hit. So, first impression, if it's choice banded, will do enough from here to a KO. That looks like it's choice banded, so it is going to take the Rocky Helmet. And I want to preserve this, so I will just go for a Morning Sun. Was that choice banded? It looks like it probably was. Donphan comes in. Donphan could actually be quite annoying for me to switch into. Chill comes in. That's the Gastrodon. I'm going to assume that hazards are going to go up here. I will go out into 𝙎𝙄𝙉𝙂 because it should be able to take anything pretty freely. And Liquidation is now just absolutely free into this team. Gonna withdraw. Okay. Double into... back out into the same one. That's very valid. However, I don't mind making this play every time. The U-turn is almost definitely coming out here. But all I need to do is continuously weaken this to a point in which it gets into range of my Aqua Jet. Goes for a knockoff. Okay. So now I can get rocks up. Now I can get rocks up. Superboard comes in. Now that rocks are up, like, it should just be really obvious that I want to keep the rocks up. But I think what I want to do more, because I think you either go for a knockoff. Do I care if my thing gets knocked off now? Do I care if you get knocked off? Not all too much. I'm going to go for a Fire Blast. Because I do want my damage on this. And yeah, there's a knockoff. And this time I'm going to go out into Gonna go out to my my boy and try and prevent the spin. And if they knock off, they knock off. That's just a good play. There we go. Okay. So we played around the spin, I think pretty well. And now we can just liquidation. Liquidation just picks up a kill. Or at least it does a lot of damage to something. If it is the Gastro and it's Spidef, not Fizdef, then liquidation to crash actually might have killed, so perhaps 2 crashes would have been a better play, but at this point I do want to preserve a bit of health. Mainly just so I can live a hit from Braviary, but can I even live that hit anyway? Yes, I would need to preserve some health. 300 puts me at 77. Brave Bird maxes out, depends if it's adamant. I don't think it was adamant from the earlier damage, but 73 to 86 is adamant. If it's jolly, then it caps out at 79. So it's actually going to live that hit. Okay. So I should have wave crashed. As it turns out, should have wave crashed. Knockoff incoming. But we do live it, so that's the main thing. And now I just liquidation again. The one thing I never do is allow, because the priority is still helpful, right? So I should have calced that one. I will admit, I should have calced that. Yeah, liquidation was never going to kill. Wave crash was the play. So a bit of greed on my part. Slash is going to come in. I don't think you have any reason to not click the button, but you're looking really, really good at this point. You're also looking pretty good. Do I want to keep the priority around? I don't think I do. I think I'd rather just click Aqua Jet here. First impression seems very likely, but on the off chance they didn't click it, that now puts it in range. It might gain enough back. But regardless, we just can go out into Sliverwing. We Sliverwing and U-turn. U-turn knocks us out from here, right? Am I crazy for thinking it may not? Yes. If it's max HP, yes, it still kills. So no reason to not U-turn. I need to preserve this mon. It is my potential win con. Airplane comes in, so they were just willing to sack the Braviary. So I'm just going to go out into our 𝙒𝙄𝙉𝙂. If this is faster, if it is Choice Scarf, we saw it did take rocks, so there is a chance that it's Scarfed. And it would Scarf into close combat. I don't think we saw it change moves earlier. So, do I want to shift gear? Nah, I think that's too greedy. I just go for a double edge. Are you Scarfed? You are Scarfed, okay. That was not a good play from me. That was certainly not the play. It's the one time I don't have E-speed as well. But does banded low kicks ever... I mean, it could actually just one-shot me. Yeah, I think I lose to low kicks. Honestly. Unless somehow, some way, low kicks If low kicks isn't adamant, if it's jolly, then we have a role to live. Going Arcanine there was always a play. That was really stupid of me to do anything else. Because yeah, it's just barely going to live. At 177 you don't ever live. I'm going to have to click this regardless. They give first impression, never mind. They did not go for first impression. It very much depends on what the set here is. But I'm just going to keep clicking Leech Life over and over. That's looking like a 2-hit KO. That was a crit. Genuinely curious why they didn't go for first impression, but I will take it. And if they end up trying to recover stall, I think I probably will have to switch out and just go for a close combat instead. Because they are going to live that one. Nah, they're not going to. I think my only... Well, I guess like if I had lived, then if I had lived, the out was what? Me being able to take 2 hits from the Gastro, which I probably could have. Especially if it was only Earth Power. But good game to Aaron. We're going to go to 7-0 for the season, plus 16. We have 1 game left of the season. If we win it, we get the perfect season, but if we don't, we don't. I think now with that win, we are pretty much locked top seed unless we lose 6-0 to Cherry in week 8. But yeah, make sure to go check out my opponent, link in the down description below. Like if you enjoyed the battle, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the rest of the season. And until the next one, have a great day, guys. Peace.